voice of Dan Toby, one of the greatest ring announcers in the history of boxing and wrestling. A man known from coast to coast as a great ring announcer, and you'll hear the voice of Dan Toby in the ring in just a moment.
One fall, 30 minutes, introducing and weighing 223, California's favorite son, Vic Christie. In the white corner, weighing 230, he is managed by his handsome presenting Hans Schnabel. One fall, 30 minutes. You'll have them, Tiny. All right, let's go.
Christie like a panther, and that Schnabel like a bull elephant. He's really a powerful man. There goes Christie over the top end of the ropes. There's a figure 4 chin lock. And as he breaks, comes up with a backbreaker, a knee to the back of Christie. Christie's in great shape. He looks good. Schnabel is really powerful. The boys sometimes call him the Milwaukee Bear Barrel. There's a right to the eyes by Schnabel, and over and under a headlock, and Christie hits the canvas. Because there's of the hair pulling while Roebuck is trying to break him. He breaks him finally, and he comes up, pushes him over the top strand of the ropes. Because when I tell you to break, I mean break. Christie waiting for Schnabel to come out wrestling. Here we go. There's a full Nelson, and you rock it. You can tell when he's going to rock, and Christie comes up and grabs him around the shoulders and neck. Now, there goes a rabbit punch. The old rocking chair. We've watched Christie wrestle up and down this Pacific Coast for many years. He's a great guy, one of the nicest men we've ever met in our lives. There goes the old rocking chair backwards, but this time Schnabel's legs are over the ropes, and, of course, this time Tiny Roebuck will break them. There's a lot of legs scrambled up there over the ropes, and there goes Roebuck all mixed up with him. Schnabel comes up with a leg lock, and Roebuck comes up with a knee to the chin. There's a lot of big men out there all scrambled up, with Roebuck the biggest of the three. Christie's to his feet. Roebuck says 1, 2, 3, the count of 3, but Schnabel is up to his feet. And Schnabel in the long trunks, Vic Christie in the short trunks. There goes the whipping arm lock, and he pulls it up into a half hammer lock and uses the hair to throw Christie to the canvas. That fan over at the far side of the ring says, break it up, Roebuck, break it up. Are you blind like an umpire? Schnabel says, please, Tiny, I'm breaking it, I'm breaking it. There goes Christie, bicycling around, sparring for an opening like a boxer. Schnabel has him bent over the rope there. This is a great trick of his with all that weight and strength. He gets him over there and usually comes up with a right to the midsection. And he comes up with a right to the jaw. That's a switch. Roebuck was in the way. Christie is up to his feet. Schnabel is on the prowl. Another right to the jaw. That rocks Christie, and there's the Zaharias hold. and a reverse chin lock and a right to the side of the head. He's over the ropes with all that weight, and Randy breaks him off. Christie's shaking his head, a little groggy, but Christie comes out of it fast. He's in great condition. Schnabel is a rough, ready customer, one of the toughest men in the business. There's a full strangle, a front headlock into a strangle and a choke. And Roebuck is trying to break it. He's pulling around there to be sure it's choke, and if it was, he'd let Schnabel have it. It's his half choke, and he goes to the canvas. Schnabel's in on top of him, but this time Roebuck is going to force him to break the hold. He pulls him off, and he's warning him. He says, cut it out, Schnabel keeps coming in. Christie's waiting for him. There goes a right to the choppers, another right to the choppers, and a side headlock, a right to the eyes. He's pouring it on. He says, keep those hands open. And there he is again. He comes in there. He's right on top of off the ropes and a hard right to the jaw. Christie is groggy. And Christie saw a right to the jaw to Christie. Another right to the jaw. Schnabel rocks against the apron of the ring, against the crossbuckle. And Christie is really pouring it on. Schnabel down to his knees. Christie's trying to push Roebuck out of the way. He wants to get in there and mix it. This time the crowd wants Roebuck to get out of the way. Let's have some fun. Christie's dishing it out. Schnabel on the bicycle now as Christie in the short trunks. Got that right hand cocked. And he lets him have it. An elbow smash, another elbow smash, and a third elbow smash. And a rabbit push to the back of the neck, and there's Schnabel draped over the ropes again. That means Christie's supposed to stay away until he gets up. He has to be out in the center of the ring. He comes in, though. Schnabel is draped over the ropes. And there goes Christie. He bounces him up in the air, and the back of his lap really hits that canvas. Christie's on the pile, and here's Schnabel immediately above us. He's going over to his corner now. Here comes Hans back into the ring. Christie's waiting for him. Christie comes in, and Schnabel wants to shake hands. He wants to be friends. Christie isn't having any. Neither is the crowd. This crowd at Hollywood Legion Stadium in Hollywood, California, really enjoying this match between Big Christie in the short trunks and Schnabel in the long trunks. There's a side headlock by Schnabel. He was fainting there. There's a vicious side headlock and a vicious hip lock, and with a hank of hair, that really made Vic hit the canvas. That barrel chest of his right up under the chin, a side headlock, and he's using his thumb against that Adam's apple when Roebuck isn't watching. Roebuck watching the shoulders, and there's Christie kicking out of it. And there's a right to the jaw by Schnabel. And there is that backbreaker over the knee. And a body press. 1, 2. And up he comes again. He's going to try it again. Up in the air. A backbreaker over the leg. And a body press. 1. And no, Schnabel doesn't want it yet. He's really softening up. There he is again. And this time Christie rolls him over and comes up with a head scissors. There's a count of 2 on Schnabel there. You would have thought Christie couldn't take anymore. He's a rough and ready customer. I think if I had that around my neck, I might even be able to talk. It's not a strangle from this position. Now Schnabel bridging around into a position, coming up. Notice the leverage he's trying to get. When he switches those hands down, he's going to try to break those legs apart. But there was a pile driver by Christie, driving that head of Schnabel's into the canvas. Here we go now. There's Schnabel using the ropes for leverage to push those feet back into a reverse leg lock. Notice how his arm comes up. So that is a reverse form of the Indian deathlock applied by the arms as being applied now by Schnabel. All it really is a handful of arms and legs wrapped all around there like a grapevine. It's a double reverse toe lock with the legs of Christie in a figure 4. Again, he uses the trunks to push him around there into position. Roebuck warns him. Roebuck, in our opinion, the greatest wrestling referee on the West Coast, if not the country. Schnabel shoulders, get him up into a position using those trunks to push those shoulders to the canvas. But Christie always rolls shoulder or the other off the canvas before the fatal count of 3. There he goes, and he pulls him up under with a body press. There's a count of 2 on Schnabel, but Schnabel is rolling. Christie has the body scissors on Schnaub, and he pulls him up in the air, slams him over to the canvas, exerting a lot of pressure. But that barrel chest for Schnabel, if he pulls it up away from the midsection, it doesn't hurt him too much. He's got one of the most powerful chests in wrestling. And Schnabel of Milwaukee, and Vic Christie, a native son of California. Schnabel in the long trunks, of course. Vic Christie in the short trunks, the long, rangy type of wrestler. There goes Schnabel over, and there's the count of 2, but Schnabel rolls Christie over again. This is the same old maneuvering for leverage and pressure, trying to break out. Christie realizes he can't get a fall in this hole. Schnabel realizes he can't get a fall here, but they try to soften up their opponents in various holes, get them off guard, and then come up with some particular type of hole that is their pet. Schnabel uses the Zaharias hole and that backbreaker to advantage. Christie has several pet holes. Now, it's a nice kick to the chin with the knee by Tiny Roebuck. When Schnabel refused to break after that strangling out there. That fan over there says, come on, Vic, and Vic is coming. A right to the jaw, another right to the jaw, a third right to the jaw. There comes Schnaub. He gets another one and another one. Schnaub's a little groggy. And there's a flying body scissors by Vic. 1, 2, and now Fritz is coming in the ring, and Roebuck is forcing him to get out of the ring. All the time, that gives Christie comes up and knocks him down on the apron of the ring. Here's a rhubarb. Christie is on top of him. They might come over this way. I'll see about getting this microphone into a safe position. And it's Schnabel coming up, throwing Christie over the top strand of the ropes. That was a rhubarb. Fritz is getting back off the apron, and there's, the back drop. That's the over and under back drop applied by Schnabel, and that's all for Vic Christie. That's one of the Schnabel favorites. That's a giant back drop with an over and over front headlock, the form of a suplex, and then over his head and a body press. And that's all for Vic Christie. And now there's some rhubarb in the ring. Watch what's going on. There's Roebuck really dishing it out with rights and lifts to the jaw. Fritz is coming in there to get his brother out of the ring, and Roebuck is making both of them get out of the ring. Schnabel is the victor, but he took a...
And weighing 208 pounds, former All-American football player of Alabama, introducing Jimmy Lott, a great athlete from the fast-growing city of San Diego, weighing 220, Don Arnold.
In the green trunks now in the second event of the evening here at Hollywood Legion Stadium, it is Jimmy Lott, formerly of Birmingham, Alabama, played football for Howard University. And in the blue trunks, it's Don Arnold of San Diego, who is a professional world record holder in the prone press weightlifting, having a record of 395 pounds. He's a comparative newcomer to wrestling, the boy in the blue tights, Don Arnold. But according to Johnny Doyle and Jules Strongbow, this boy has great promise. Watch him closely. Jimmy Lott has been wrestling for several years. Weighs 208 pounds, and it's Don Arnold of San Diego State, 220 pounds. Jimmy Lott in the green trunks and Don Arnold in the blue trunks. Now they are on the arm and neck hold now at the far side of the ring. There's a standing Japanese wrist lock applied by Arnold. Notice how Lott is bridging with his legs to take off the pressure. He comes down to the canvas. Come up again, take the leverage off. Notice the standing wrist lock that's changed into a reverse, an ordinary reverse figure 4 wrist lock applied by Arnold on Jimmy Lott. And Lott has Arnold bent over the top strand of the ropes now, and Tiny Roebuck is telling him to break. They break, and Lott breaks cleanly. Coming around now, Arnold in the blue trunks, Lott in the green trunks. The arm Arm and neck hold, popularly known as the referee's hold. And again, it's Arnold that comes up with a reverse wrist lock. That's a standing Japanese reverse wrist lock. And it's Lott who counters with a chin lock. And down to the canvas goes Lott. A lot of power and strength, that young fellow, Don Arnold. He's really got a physique on him, that boy. Matched against the experience of Jimmy Lott, a great football player from Alabama. There's a hard right to the midsection. As Roebuck comes around, he warns him, keep that hand off from Jimmy. There's another hard right to the kidneys by Jimmy Lott. But it is Don Arnold on top, naturally, with a hole, so Roebuck doesn't break it. He just warns Lott to cut it out. And there goes Arnold to the canvas via the means of a hank of hair. Roebuck is warning Lott whether or not he'll break it. Well, you be the judge. All we can see at the moment is the posterior portion of Mr. Roebuck's anatomy. You can probably see it better from the camera view from your television. There's Lott on top for the moment, but Roebuck tells him to break because of pulling hair and eye gouging. And there he is breaking Mr. Lott away from Mr. Arnold. Gentlemen, if you please. There's the bell. Vic Christie rushes out of his corner, but Tony Roebuck refuses to let him come out wrestling until Fritz Schnabel, the brother of Hans Schnabel, managing Hans tonight, gets off the apron of the ring and down to a seat off the apron of the ring. Vic Christie in the short trunks, of course, Schnabel in the long trunks. Arm and neck hold and referee's hold, and Christie has Schnabel over the ropes as they break. Schnabel kicks the legs out from under Christie and comes up with a side headlock and a half body press, but Roebuck pulls him off. Christie's up to his feet. Christie, the fast, scientific wrestler. Schnabel, one of the most powerful men in wrestling, has Christie over the top strand of the rope. Roebuck tells him to break. Roebuck tells him to break, and he breaks it. Forces him to break. With a wrist lock. Schnabel makes a pass at Roebuck, but he doesn't let it go because he wouldn't like what would happen if he did. This Roebuck has taken care of some of the boys in no uncertain terms many a time when they let one go. The arm and neck hold, the referee's hold, and his Schnabel uses the Zaharias hold and a hank of hair to slam Christie to the mat. This match is a 30-minute match or one fall. One fall, time limit 30 minutes. Now there goes the hair out by the roots as Roebuck pulls Schnabel off of Christie. Listen to the rhubarb. The fans like Christie and they don't like Schnabel. There's that referee's hold, and again it's a wrist lock by Schnabel. Pulling him down, and Christie just flips his long leg over the head of Schnabel and breaks the hold. There's a knee to the midsection by Schnabel. The Vic was rolling away, no damage done. Now there is a long arm bar and wrist lock, but Christie is underneath the ropes, and it is Roebuck is telling Schnabel to break and helps him break with a rabbit push to the back of the neck, and he delivers a right to Roebuck's midsection, and Roebuck has really given it to him. The next time you let one go, I'll let you have one on the jaw. Pull of the hair, side headlock, and a smack to the eyes. It seems to be a routine with Jimmy Lott of Alabama. And Mr. Don Arnold of San Diego State doesn't seem to mind it. He comes right back with the same kind of technique on Jimmy Lott. Side headlocks and gouging on the eyes, but he retains the side headlock. But there with a pull of the hair, Jimmy Lott breaks out of it and comes up with the knee to the midsection. suggesting there was the open hand. Notice how Don Arnold is using leverage to get down to his feet. He would have been successful, but Lott comes up with a hard right to the midsection. Well, he was successful in a way. He broke the hold, although it didn't do his midsection any good. Roebuck again warning Jimmy Lott in the green trunks to take it easy. There's a hank of hair, a side headlock, and a right to the eyes. That was the open palm of my hand, Tiny. Can't you see? You must be blind like those umpires in baseball. Here we go again, and the arm and nickel. The referee's holding again a hank of hair. The Lott getting the worst of it. They go over. There's another right to the jaw by Arnold. Swinging haymaker. He's really pouring it on down there. Yes, he is. That man is doing it. There we go now, a side headlock. And a hard right to the choppers by Don Arnold. He comes up with a side headlock. And to the eyes by Don Arnold and Jimmy Lott. He's now a very unhappy citizen again. He's raising his hand, saying, Roebuck, you should disqualify that man. Well, the fans like that. There's Don Arnold waiting for Jimmy. They go into the referee's hole, sparring for an opening. And there's the old cradle hold if they hit the canvas. Getting that old rocking chair. The old rocking chair. The cradle. There's Jimmy Lott trying to come up with the Indian deathlock. But Don Arnold, realizing he's countering with that, spread wide his legs and came out of it. Lott comes up with a reverse chin lock. That's really being applied. Look at the muscles stand out on that neck as Jimmy pushes it over. He uses a hank of hair to slam him to the canvas. Tony looks, says, you didn't pull that hair, did you? Jimmy says, no, just a reverse headlock on that chin there. He comes up again, and there's a blow to the kidneys, a kidney punch by Jimmy Lott, and a semi-strangle with the elbow, a reverse front headlock. That's a plain reverse front headlock applied by Jimmy Lott on Don Arnold. Coming around there, getting him into a position, and down to one knee comes Arnold, trying to get the pressure off, trying to get into a position to use some leverage to pull out of that hold. It's a reverse headlock. Yes, it is. He's pulling him around there. Jimmy Lott hits the canvas now, and that was a reverse over and under headlock, and Don Arnold comes up with a leg stretch, and around we go. Where we land, nobody. Except Jimmy Lott, who hit the canvas. Up he comes again. It's a leg stretch applied by Don Arnold on Jimmy Lott in the green trunks. Trying to get around the position. If he gets on that merry-go-round fast enough, or can grab a hunk of rope, he can break out of it. You've never seen a fall, one with this hold, but it softens up the opponent something more. The chin isn't doing the side of Jimmy's head any. Now notice that leverage, trying for a leg stretch on Don Arnold to break the hold. Arnold in turn trying to get him off balance to make him hit the canvas, and he wins. He wins that one. Comes up again with the leg stretch. Again, it's Jimmy Lott trying around, bridging on his knees, trying to get in position. Coming around with a leg stretch. If he can pull this stretch up in time before Arnold, and he does. And that's the old leg stretch. And he flips around and comes in to a reverse front leg lock. Jimmy Lott, by the way, has a favorite hold. It's a reverse single crab. And when Jimmy gets this one, the boys really give up. That's what Jimmy's doing now. He's softening up for the touch. He's softening him up with that reverse front leg lock. He's doing a little choking in the rear as Tony Roebuck is warning him about something. We can't see. His back's to us. Jimmy's doing a little choking now on the side. A very resourceful character indeed. He has that reverse leg lock. There's a chance to break it up. Don Arnold is countering. He has his left leg around the back and trying to gouge him in the middle of the back and get into position to pull out of it. With enough pressure, he may be able to do it. He does. He breaks out of it and comes up with a leg lock on Jimmy Lott and comes in now with a grapevine. That's a standing grapevine, a leg lock. Oh, grapevine. Turn him around, Don, so we can take a look at his face. Don applying the old grapevine, a reverse leg lock called the grapevine. Down they go. We didn't didn't see the action on there, you might have seen it on your television screen. There was something illegal because Tiny's warning Jimmy. He pulled his hair, I guess, to pull him down and break the hold. Now they're up in that referee's hold. There's Don Arnold again. Broadcasting from Hollywood Legion Stadium in Hollywood, California. This is the second bout of the evening. The first bout saw George Temple win his first bout. After a tour all over the United States, George Temple defeating Abe Stein of New York City. Now there's that standing wrist lock by Jimmy Lott and a hank of hair, and Don Arnold hits the 10. Pouring it on here. He's applying some pressure. But Arnold's getting a little bit of rest here. He counters with a chin lock, bridges. Look at those powerful shoulder muscles and back muscles. Comes up with the scissors, a head scissors on Jimmy Lott. That's where those boys get those cauliflower ears. He's really rocking them like a dog would shake a cat with that head scissors. Mr. Roebuck would get around on the other side. You folks on your television screens would get a little better view of the proceedings. John Tiny backing up. It's a head scissors, and Jimmy counters around now, pulling the shoulders of Don Arnold to the mat for the count of 2 and almost 3, and he does it again. And Jimmy Lott comes up on top of him. We couldn't see it from this vantage point. Maybe you saw it from your television screen. Jimmy Lott pouring some right hands to the midsection, and Roebuck doesn't like it. He's telling him to break. Just warned him that time. Said, don't do it again, Jimmy. It's just a semi-body press and an arm stretch. He's really weaving around there. You can hear the boys. Out of it. Arnold, by bridging, kicks himself out of it, comes up with a leg lock. A grapevine on Jimmy Lott. Jimmy's countering with that foot, trying to get it into position to kick it out. That's that reverse grapevine. Jimmy using his foot to push his foot up to take the leverage and pressure off. Now he's getting him around in position and knocks Don Arnold off balance to come out of the hold. Arnold goes through his legs. The match is getting hot. Both boys pointing for the kill, and again it's Don Arnold coming up, trying to get him into a position for a crab hold or an airplane spin. Around, around, around he goes. This is the giant swing. He didn't swing hard enough. That's a drop kick to the chest. Jimmy Lott goes over for the ropes. He's a bit groggy, and Roebuck tells Arnold to break it. The drop kick just caught him on the chest. Well, that is a powerful chest quoted by the San Diego boy, Don Arnold. There's the count. You have to have a count of 20 to be counted out in wrestling. Here we are now. Out to the center of the ring comes Jimmy Lott. Don Arnold waiting for him. Comes up now, tries for the hammerlock, comes up with a reverse wrist lock, pulls it around into a position for a hammerlock, and there goes Arnold into the cross buckles of the ring. Those cross buckles don't do a wrestler any good, believe me. It's not a full hammerlock because he uses the semi-mirror motion to throw them into the cross buckle of the ring. Trying to pull out of it, but that hammerlock is being put on by Lott. It's a semi-hammerlock. Lott trying to get it into a position to pull out of it, and comes up with some rights to the midsection. A little of his own medicine. A right to the choppers. Another right to the jaw. And as Jimmy Lott hits the canvas and almost goes through the ring. Here's a flying mirror coming up. He really swung it. And he hits the canvas right on the back of his left. Jimmy Lott's a little groggy now. Don Arnold's waiting for him. Jimmy Lott on the old bicycle, riding around, riding away, shaking his hand. Discretion is the better part of valor, says Mr. Lott. Cooling off, shaking his head. Arnold in for the kill. There's the experience of Jimmy Lott. When he knew he was on the ride, he really took advantage of the bicycle, and now he comes up and has a grapevine on Don Arnold. Using the ropes as leverage, and the crowd boos. Got his foot on the Adam's apple now. That isn't doing him any good as he's arguing with Roebuck. And Roebuck gets a arm lock on Jimmy Lott and pulls him away from Don Arnold. There's a hard right to the jaw by Arnold. Lott comes back with a right to the jaw. Right by Arnold. Another right by Arnold. Lott doesn't like it. He has him over the ropes. A right by Arnold, and he does a little half choke in there. And again, it is Jimmy Lott. It was an unhappy citizen. He's not hurt as bad as he pretends he is, though. Jimmy Lott looks like a very crafty, experienced wrestler. And if Arnold gets over anxious, that's going to be curtains for Mr. Arnold. Experienced counsel out in this wrestling game. There's that side headlock applied by Don Arnold. And he's out to the ropes. Roebuck tells him to break. And Jimmy Lott comes up with a leg lock off the ropes. Jimmy breaks. Arnold's up to his feet. Roebuck warning him. When I say break, I mean break clean. As the arm and ankle the referees hold with Arnold over the ropes, they tell him to break, and as they break, this Lott comes up with a side headlock, and Roebuck tells him to break or I'll break you. And as he breaks, he comes up with a right to the eyes. This doesn't do Arnold any good. There's a side headlock applied by Arnold, and he's doing the switch headlock, the switch side headlocks. He's not too adept at it, and again, Lott piles him into the ropes. And as he breaks, he again comes up with that right to the midsection. Lott takes a little punishment in the softening up process. Now there's a front over and under headlock by Lott, and Arnold hits the canvas. Hits the counter clear. He hits him in the midsection, and Roebuck warns him. There's a high side headlock. There's that twisting, rotating side headlock from right to left by Arnold, but he doesn't do it very good. Better practice that one some more. Right to the jaw, another right to the jaw. Lott appears to be groggy, but it looks like he's fainting. He is fainting. He comes up to two, left to the jaw, and there's the bell. There's the bell, and Roebuck's having quite a time stopping it. Might have a little rhubarb here. They both claim the decision, but Roebuck hands, and it is a draw, the second event of the evening.